I exposed my brother's secret affair and family turned against me. I, 23F, have never had a boyfriend. Not because I'm unattractive or socially awkward, but because I was never allowed to even entertain the idea. See, I come from a very religious household. One of those families where you grow up believing that boys are basically demons in disguise and that even glancing at one would somehow land you straight in hell. In my house, modesty wasn't just a virtue, it was a law. I wasn't allowed to wear makeup until I turned 20. No sleepovers. No hanging out at the mall. No texting boys. I couldn't even join school clubs unless they were strictly academic. And if by some miracle I got permission to leave the house, my older brother, Adam 29M, was always appointed my babysitter. I used to envy other girls who could casually say they had guy friends. That phrase might as well have been a sin in my household. While other girls were experimenting and exploring, I was learning how to be invisible because invisibility meant safety. And honestly, I made peace with it. I even started to like it. Being single gave me space. I focused on school, on reading, on peace and quiet. I didn't have the pressure to look or act a certain way for anyone. But guess who didn't like that? Yep, my parents. Right after I turned 22, it was like someone flipped a switch. Suddenly, the same people who warned me that boys are distractions started pushing marriage. When are you going to settle down? Have you met anyone nice at college? You don't want to wait too long to have kids. The irony made my head spin. But the worst part wasn't my parents, it was Adam. Adam, the same man who got married at 21 and now has 4 kids, decided it was his personal mission to remind me of my failings. Constantly, mercilessly. He plays the model family man role for social media. Cute pictures with his wife, Bible verses in the captions, little matching outfits on his kids. But behind closed doors, he's a nightmare. Whenever we were at a family gathering, Adam would find a way to publicly shame me. Sometimes subtle, sometimes not. Comments like, "Some girls think degrees are more important than families. Guess they'll learn eventually." Can you imagine being 23 and still single? I'd be embarrassed. The purpose of a woman is to build a home, not chase grades. And I had to take it. Every single time. If I defended myself, I was disrespecting him. If I got upset, I was too emotional. And if I ignored him, she's being cold again. See what feminism does to girls. And my parents? Always on his side. He's just trying to help. He's your older brother. Respect him. He wants the best for you. But here's the part that made my blood boil. Adam, the moral compass of our family, is cheating on his wife. Yup. I found out from my mom. She didn't mean to tell me. She slipped up one night while whispering in the kitchen. I overheard her say he's with her again. What if Nicole finds out? Nicole is his wife. When I asked her about it, she looked like a deer in headlights. She begged me not to say anything. Said it would ruin the family. Ruin the family? So let me get this straight. I can't date, can't wear what I want, can't speak up without getting lectured, but Adam can run around on his wife, and we're just okay with that? For a while, I kept it in. I didn't want to be the one to blow everything up. But that didn't last long. It happened 2 weeks ago at what was supposed to be a wholesome, low-key event, my nephew's 4th birthday party. You know, cupcakes, balloons, bouncy castle, plastic dinosaurs, a bunch of overstimulated toddlers hyped up on sugar. Very innocent. Very normal. My sister-in-law Nicole had gone all out for it. Balloons shaped like jungle animals, a giant cake with a fondant lion on top, and party favors that looked like they belonged in a wedding registry. It was the kind of party you throw when you're trying to prove you've got the perfect family. And honestly, for a while, it did look like that from the outside. My parents were there, of course. So was Nicole's family. My aunts and uncles, cousins, even some of Adam's work friends. The house was packed. I kept to myself. I always do at these things. I helped set up chairs, passed out napkins, and spent most of my time hanging out with the kids, my cousins, nieces, and a few of Nicole's younger siblings who were still in high school. They were the only people I could truly relax around. No judgment. No, when are you getting married? Questions. Just giggles, snacks, and an endless loop of Baby Shark. That's when it happened. Adam walked over, grinning like he always does when he's about to say something cruel disguised as a joke. He saw me crouched near the gift table, playing some card game with the kids. In front of everyone, his friends, my aunts, Nicole's parents, he chuckled and said, "Look at her, 23 and still acting like a teenager. No wonder no one wants to marry her." There it was, a perfectly timed jab, the kind of comment he lives for. Just loud enough for people to hear, just nasty enough to sting, just subtle enough that if I reacted, I'd look like the dramatic one. But this time I snapped. I stood up slowly. I didn't even feel nervous, just done. Like a fuse had been burning inside me for years, and he just lit the final match. I looked him dead in the eye and said, loud and clear, says the man cheating on his wife, "Aren't you ashamed?" The entire backyard went silent, like dead silent. A kid dropped a juice box. Someone's phone chimed and it sounded like a gunshot. Every adult's head turned like they were in a bad soap opera. Adam froze. His face turned a color I didn't even know human skin could make. First pale, then red, then something between purple and rage. Nicole looked completely stunned. She blinked at me, then at him, then back at me like her brain couldn't compute what she'd just heard. I didn't stop. I couldn't stop. You judge me every day. You shame me in front of everyone. You act like you're this perfect husband and father, but you're out there sleeping with another woman while Nicole is home raising your kids alone. You call me worthless? What exactly does that make you? He exploded. He called me insane, delusional, a liar, a bitch, said I was just jealous, that I was sick in the head. He tried to laugh it off, but his voice cracked. I'd hit a nerve, and everyone could tell. People were whispering. Nicole's mother pulled her aside. One of Adam's co-workers awkwardly walked away. My aunt tried to stop me from saying more, but I wasn't done. I turned to my parents, who were rushing toward us. You knew. Don't act shocked. You've always known. And you told me to keep quiet because it would ruin the family. Like the family wasn't already a joke the minute you let him walk all over everyone and do whatever he wanted. My mom tried to hush me. My dad just looked disappointed. Not at Adam, but at me. As always. Eventually, my mom pulled me inside and dragged me to the front hallway like I was 5 years old again. She told me I'd embarrassed the family, ruined my nephew's birthday, and made a scene. I said no. Adam did that. With his lies. She didn't speak after that. Just glared at me with this mix of pity and rage. Like I was the one who'd cheated. Like I was the sinner. That was 2 weeks ago. Since then, the silence has been deafening. No calls. No texts. My parents aren't speaking to me. My aunts and uncles are disappointed. Nicole hasn't reached out, not that I blame her. I wouldn't even know what to say. Part of me feels guilty for ruining a child's birthday, but most of me feels relieved. For once, I got to speak the truth. Update 1. The days after the party were brutal. I woke up the morning after feeling lighter, like a huge weight had been lifted. But that feeling didn't last long. My phone was silent. No calls from my parents, no texts from anyone in the family group chat. Usually, even the smallest family drama triggers a dozen messages. But this? Nothing. I tried calling my mom the next day. Straight to voicemail. My dad didn't answer either. I sent a few texts. Can we please talk? I'm sorry about the party, but you need to hear me out. No reply. At first, I thought maybe they just needed time to cool off. But a week passed, then 2. Even my cousins who used to text me randomly about homework or memes stopped responding. Nicole didn't say a word to me either. I had to see her almost daily because we live in the same neighborhood, but we only exchange the bare minimum.